worst one. Greetings, beautiful savages. Ranger1 here with Keegan, an amazing artist that I happen to find through a friend on Instagram. It's his boy. Boy, this kid's art is amazing. And I got Keegan here with me, and he's lighting his pipe right now. We're going to talk a little bit about the type of artwork that he does. It's very brash, but it's really, really, I think it's definitely a sign of the times of something that's coming back around with, what would you call it? What's the style?
What I call it is, I don't have any idea what I call it.
It's kind of slash and hack and get your point across art, but
it's get my point across art.
Exactly. There you go. Get my point across. Actually, we can just
if there's any point in it.
I don't know if that's going to show up. We're going to show more of these later, and that's going to be probably in reverse, unfortunately. But yeah, anyway, this is the type of stuff we're talking about here. So what's the earliest age that you remember finding the creative bug and realizing that you were leaning towards art?
15, probably 14, earliest.
What were you into? What was the first thing you drew?
First thing I drew?
Yeah, do you remember?
I wouldn't remember that. I remember that I would go into class and draw in my art class.
Okay.
And then, I did a lot of clay stuff too. So instead of doing actual classwork, I would take my clay that I stole from art class and then do nothing but sculpt stuff.
Nice.
And then I started getting into the fountain pen and the ink. So I started doing that a little later on that year.
Was that what really captured you? Was once you pen and ink? Because I'm noticing it's all pen and ink now.
Yeah, I don't have really any clay. I haven't done a lot of clay stuff in a while.
Do you like sculpting, doing clay?
Yeah.
Is that one of your favorite mediums?
It's one of them, I guess. Yeah. It
cool.
Depends how I feel.
Yeah. Gotta try claymation sometime.
I haven't drawn
stop motion.
I hadn't drawn anything for like a year until I did some new drawings. The one you saw, and yeah, most of those ones. The cicada one isn't new. That one's pretty old.
Yeah, I got a couple here. Let's see if we can get this piece here. Yeah. Just the crazy detail in there. I don't even know if the camera's doing it justice, but it's just amazing. Let's see what we got, Yeah, that's one of my faves. There you go. So, hold that up to a mirror, people, and you'll be able to see what it says, unless you can read backwards. All right, let's see what got you out. So, let's see, you started 15, you're how old now?
I'm 18.
Okay, so.
I turned 19 in 4 months.
So, when you started creating, you obviously, there were things that were influencing you. You had a young mind going on. What was the things that were coming at you into your eye holes that you were going, oh shit, I need to do something like this.
It's never felt like something I needed to do. It's just something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's just something that I did, and it was something to let, sometimes frustration, and just sometimes I'm bored, and then I just want to do something.
Well, that's interesting. So, art was sprouted from having frustrations and being pissed off about stuff, or
I guess, yeah.
Unsure about things, or interesting.
It's not always about that. It's just doing what you want to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, kind of well, it's not really rebelling, so to speak.
It's definitely not rebelling.
No.
I
guess you could with your product, though. You're not drawing isn't rebelling, but what you draw could be the rebellious.
I don't know. I don't feel like my art is really. I don't know. Nowadays, it probably wouldn't impact much. I can't really say. I don't know, but. Yeah, I never thought of it that way. I never wanted to state a message or anything. I just wanted to. There's something I wanted to express, and then that's how I did it.
Yeah.
I wanted to be really a musician, because I'd listen to Black Flag and a bunch of like folk singers, like folk country singers like Waylon Jennings.
Sure.
Blaze Foley. Blaze Foley's definitely something I listen to a lot while I draw.
Yeah. You were lucky enough to have a mass combination of music, though, not just one genre. You were being hit with several genres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a real metalhead when I was in my early high school years. Yeah. I mean, I had long hair like I did now, but I never took showers or anything, so I had this like fucking Cthulhu hair, like it like stuck together. I was really not the one. I was the weird kid that nobody wanted to hang out with, especially because I looked so fucking weird.
Did you kind of want it that way? Do you think? Did you go into it?
I desperately wanted to fit in, but I just couldn't.
Interesting.
I just wanted to. I wanted to fucking like get a girlfriend, but I couldn't fucking do that shit. Everybody found me really weird, and for good reason. I did a lot of weird shit. I did some shit that I regret doing. I mean, people probably thought that I was going to shoot up the school, but people yelled.
Oh, no.
But people
trench-coated shooter.
My close friends knew that I wasn't going to do that.
But you're saying some of those people were probably looking at you like, oh, yeah, he's the next one. We're going to be on the news tonight.
Yeah, anybody knew that wasn't going to happen, or they didn't want to piss me off. Yeah. But during class I thought, it'd be funny if I said that I would shoot up the school. Like,
whoops.
This is me like just fucking being stupid. Like,
sure.
Just what teenagers do stupid shit. But this was a really stupid fucking moment. I did a lot of stupid moments.
But is that your peak, your pinnacle of stupid moments?
That was probably the most stupid. There's another moment I'll tell you about. But
sweet, I'd love to hear it.
We had these like flashcards that were hanging around talking. We should talk about ourselves.
Okay.
So I got my flashcards. I had like a bunch of flashcards in my backpack too. When I took one out, I talked some like stereotypical shit about myself, like I like doing this. Oh yeah, I love school. Yeah, all that shit. I wrote that, and then I'm like, this is boring. And I should write something that's gonna like, I don't know. I just wanted to write something that I felt was funny.
And was going to shock the shit out of people.
Not necessarily to shock people, but I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Because there was people, or some kids in the school that were actually threatening to shoot the school, but
the ones that they probably should have been watching.
Yeah, but there's some weird paranoia about it, and I thought I should write that shit because I thought it was funny because everybody was so paranoid about it. But then I regretted doing that. I had to. A couple of days later, I think, I had gotten really, really high during class. Person I know had his vape pen, which was probably spice, which I've accidentally smoked a couple of times.
Nobody's judging, bro. Nobody's judging.
I know. I'm just thinking to myself, like,
holy shit, I did these things.
And not on purpose, too. I mean, continuing on.
Go for it, dude.
But
take it the way you need to take it.
I'd smoked a bunch of whatever the fuck I smoked, and then sure. I'm like, I should write all this shit down. This is like, I was laughing to myself when I was writing it. But then when I was really high, the teacher, like some kind of intercom thing, was like, Keegan Mullick to the front office. I forget exactly where it was. It wasn't exactly a front office. It was more around the back of the school. But I got there, and there was a cop there. I was blazed. Like, I was fucking...
My God.
I was fucked.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I kept my cool, and I sit down, and he's talking to me. He's like, we're worried about you. And I'm like, there's nothing to worry about. I'm trying to keep as little eye contact as possible sure. because I don't know what my eyes look like. Yeah. I'm fucking crazy looking. Maybe that's what he thought. Like, he's just crazy looking. And later on, like, it was going pretty well. He's like, you're not gonna shoot up the school. Like, that's not gonna happen. And he was like, I like the eye contact that you keep.
And I thought I was not keeping.
I was like, I'm
I've been
keeping as little eye contact as possible, man. Of course, I didn't say. I was like, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
That's what we all say.
Especially when you're speaking to a person of authority.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That is 99.9% of the time an asshole in real life.
I mean, the cops didn't. I didn't have any problem with the cops there. They just kept. There was a lot of fights in the school.
Yeah. So,
Keep
well, yeah,
kids
at
from
that
being
time.
stupid.
But if I'm thinking about it, see, we used to have school cops. By the time your time in high school rolled around, you actually had cops.
Oh yeah, we had cops hanging around. There's cop cars,
exactly.
Especially around the ROTC hangar and stuff.
There was no halftime security guard that was watching the chillins. It was cops.
Yeah, it was cops.
Cops on campus.
I never had a problem
Gag
with
me
them.
with a spoon.
Even when I did stupid shit like that, they didn't have a problem with me.
Yeah. That was a sign of your guys' time zone. My daughter, she's 22 now, 23 now, and I mean, even going to Rio Americana, it was a different scene altogether. The amount of security that they felt, or they, I guess, needed at the time, because there was all sorts of weird shit going on, and I think that speaks volumes, and I think us bringing this out kind of brings to the surface that creativity, I think, once it's utilized, is the thing that keeps us away from doing that crazy shit that might have popped into our heads, because that's the outlet. That becomes the outlet. You unleash on the fucking piece of paper with a pen, or with melted wax, or with a chainsaw, or whatever the hell it is that you're utilizing to put that thought process out. And in the long run, you get this squiggle chaos that ends up representing your feelings at the time. I might be a little off on that, but
I mean, I guess the art that anybody would put out, I guess, has to do something with how they feel at the time. I don't really pay attention to that.
When you would be upset about something, and you'd sit down, put your headphones on or whatever, and smoke out, and then start. Did you feel the release? Did you feel the tension going? Did you feel the crazy thoughts? See, there it is then. Yeah, so it is the medication, I think. And see, I think those kids in school that end up doing that fucked up shit, whether it's shooting up the school or, hurting, just in general hurting,
causing pain
or bullying or any of that, it's because, they're like, well, I don't want to do art. I'm not that type of sissy. I'm not a,
I'm not a pussy.
Exactly. And
I am
that's
not
the
a
sad
vagina.
thing is that when and even that thought process, that just shows you those people are just, they've got all this shit pent up in them. And luckily enough, in the 80s, we had art teachers that were like, oh, you've got this, you should, and so they kind of feed your artistic ego and pull you out, and now they don't have the funding for that, so it's just like everybody for themselves, and whatever you become. So I think, honestly, you might have had some crazy thoughts in your youth, but I think it all came out on paper, and that kept a lot of people happier.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it kept me somewhat in a right state of mind. Yeah.
Did you have any teachers that kind of noticed your talent and were like, hey,
I had my art teacher. I feel bad that I don't remember names well, but I'm forgetting his name right now. He looks like Andy Kaufman.
Okay.
Like he straight up just looks like Andy Kaufman, and I told him that all the time. I mean, I think he liked that, but he was crazy. Like this guy's fucking weird.
Most art teachers are.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, he definitely let me do my thing when there was other projects going on. He just kind of let me do my thing because he knew that I wasn't even gonna give a shit what he was doing. I was just gonna do what I did, and I just did it.
Yeah.
I don't think I really had good grades in art class.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I probably had a C at max.
Was it because of production, or was it because of what you were producing?
It was probably because I wasn't doing anything anybody asked me to do.
Oh. Did they have? Okay, here's a question, and this is dating me, because back in the 80s again,
Back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s, we had, my teacher had an independent study program, which she got sanctioned by the school. So, like, the artists that she found that really had true talent that she knew were going to push forward with it, she put them in this independent study program. So I was in that program, and all we had to do was come up with 3 pieces a week. Whatever.
Just whatever.
Whatever the fuck we wanted to do. And she would grade us on it, and she would grade us honestly on it. But it was I think it was more kind of getting us ready for, like, you know, art gallery thought process and, you know, production for sale process of you were going to have this many things done by the end of the week, you know. And that just opened up fucking giant doors for me, because I wasn't sitting there doing forced perspective, and I wasn't doing fucking around with watercolors, you know, and a straw making trees, you know, although that was fun. So do you use India ink and a quill pen? Do you use regular pen ballpoints? What is your medium?
The ink I have, I forget the name of it. It's matte black.
Mm-hmm.
What I like is ink that doesn't sink through the paper easily. I mean, this ink definitely sinks through the paper, but I don't like it like watery. I like it as black as it possibly could. But with like stuff I post on, I put like a filter that puts on the black a little more. It makes it look like what is,
gives it some pop.
Yeah, but what it looks like more when I look at it in the eye. When I take a picture of it, it's usually when it's not dry too. So it's like parts are definitely more black than other parts because they're wet still.
Sure.
So I put the filter on, and it just makes everything black.
Gotcha.
I forget, it's like Noir or whatever the fuck.
I've used Noir before. That's a good one. Yeah, because it does make
I just keep clicking, and then whatever's blacker I just put on.
Yeah, go for the darkest. So where are you thinking about taking this? I mean, you've definitely got, you know, once you start, you know, you were mentioning, I think, band logos and band cover designs and things like that.
Yeah, that definitely would be something I want to do. I put up the thing that I wanted to sell my art because I got laid off and I need money and I can't get hired for anything.
Well, I think that's something that 2020 and COVID has taught us, is that when hardship hits, you need to dig down deep and realize the things. I mean, look at how many people started baking bread and selling bread out of their fucking
Definitely
houses.
what Mom's been doing.
Exactly. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, this. I mean, I used to just do the cannabis business, and I used to throw rock shows, and it was like, fuck, I got to do something different because I can't do shows anymore right now. So, thus a YouTube channel. I mean, you know, so the people that have that in them are really starting to. Well, we have the time to do it too. You know, I mean, you're not working, so you got a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Where are you thinking about taking it in the future? Do you want to do gallery stuff?
I would, like, you know Kylie, right? I asked Kylie to do if I could get some art shows in, and she's like, COVID's definitely made things difficult. I'm like, yeah.
Sure, they're suffering.
Yeah, I was thinking
time.
more around the lines after things died down a little bit. Yeah, the art shows would definitely be something I want to do.
Yeah. And you do also, like we were talking, I'm noticing bands are digging having live artists just slightly off stage that's producing art that's representative of the music that they're hearing, and I think that really kind of adds a third or even fourth dimension to a live concert when you've got crazy art, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
do you not necessarily agree with that?
No.
Your thoughts, sir?
My thoughts. When I think like the loud environment, I do have my music loud, but something. The live shows and putting something in your earphones is different. I don't know how I would react. I would kind of curl up a little bit when I went to like the punk shows. It took me a while to get used to it, but then I started enjoying it more.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
But it definitely takes me a while to get used to it.
Well, I think it would, because you'd have to. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I've never. There was a guy, Dexter Smith, that used to do paintings during spoken word stuff. And so, of course, the decibel level's not going to be as loud there. But yeah, he would just settle in and just go nuts, fucking fling him out to the audience. But yeah, no, I really dig that idea of having live art and live entertainment in the same venue.
There is this Japanese artist that my that Gilman introduced me to, and he was an airbrush painter.
Sure.
And he would talk about how annoying it is for people to ask about, like, what kind of, like, airbrush do you use? He just wants to draw, man. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I don't want, like, people to ask me a bunch of questions while I'm drawing. It just takes me out of it.
Sure.
I don't know if it would go anywhere like that, but yeah, that's definitely something I don't want to do. I just would, like, if I was to do an art show like that, I would want people to be quiet.
Sure.
And people just let me.
The other thing you can do, and I've done this before, I've had just only a couple, and this was way back in the day when art shows were a lot freer, but one thing you can do is just not actually even show up to your own art show. Literally just do not, and then you don't have to deal with that. You can read about it, you can have people tell you about it, you know, you can even send people there to kind of stand around and listen. But that way, you know, because, I mean, there are people that just don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with, oh, well, what's your thought process? And
if I want to go anywhere with
what were you feeling when you painted
this? If I want to go anywhere with it, I mean, I probably would have to deal with shit like that. But
maybe to a certain extent, there's a lot of artists out there that just.
I mean, I have no idea. I don't know how the world works. I'm just trying to get myself into it.
Yeah. Well, so that being said, why don't you tell everybody out there how they can find you out there in the stratosphere we call the internet?
It's Keegan Mullick on Instagram. It's like it's
pop
got
up.
He'll probably put something in.
Put it up.
Go to wherever the fuck he puts on. There you go. That's how you find me.
Do you have any other websites though? Do you have websites that you have your art up at? Any other? Nope.
No.
Just the Insta, huh?
Just Insta.
Okay. Well, I will be.
My mom's boyfriend is talking about helping me make a website,
That'd be cool.
But it hasn't gone anywhere yet. Well, if anything changes, I guess I'll put something on Instagram up.
Well, yeah, and I mean, honestly, you can do it on Instagram if you just have piece after piece and, you know, explanations or whatever you need, the price point, all that stuff. You could run a store directly off of Instagram.
Yeah, and the part that kept me from selling art for so long is, like, I didn't want to make money off of it for a while. I just wanted to give it to people. But I need money now, so I need money.
So was it because you just wanted to give it away free because you felt like that was the thing to do? Did you feel like you didn't deserve to be selling it?
It's not deserve. Okay, I just felt like I just felt like giving it to people.
Cheers. Yeah.
Like family members and stuff. And friends. I'm giving some friends some art.
Yeah. That's cool. Got any final thoughts?
Final thoughts?
Yeah. It's getting serious.
Getting serious. Art is expressed in many different ways. Doesn't necessarily have to be in drawing or music. It could be in film. And really anything. It could be in growing weed, I guess. That could be an art.
Oh, it's very much an art form. Very much an art form.
Making joints like this fucking carrot. Like, look at this.
Oh, they know.
Do whatever the fuck you want to do. There you go. There's my message.
And let's put it out there. Let's do it well. If you're going to do it well.
Do whatever you feel like is right.
That's right. Don't hurt nobody. Don't hurt yourself. Kick depression in the balls. That's a Caffeine Mark statement there. So what's your next step? You've got this art. You're looking at maybe doing a website. You got any more pieces in the work currently?
I don't plan on anything. I just start drawing and then I make something.
Nice. Well, I'm going to put this out in the stratosphere right now that as soon as things do get back to normal, there will be another Reefer Ranger music show for sure. I'm thinking Reefer Palooza. I'm shooting for July 12th for Reefer Palooza out there because we didn't get to do Reefer Palooza this year, and I'm really sorry about that, people. It wasn't my fault.
And I'm sorry, too.
He's sorry, too. It wasn't his fault either. But that being said, we know that at Reefer Palooza there's always art on display, there's canna vendors, there's craft vendors, and there's live music. And so I guarantee you, if I have anything to say about it, Ranger1's going to have Keegan and his awesome artwork at Reeferpalooza, hopefully at Elkhorn Saloon. So, that being said, that's it for Ranger1's Rock Sesh. I think this is, honestly, this is our first episode. I put out a couple of short videos, but I'm going to say this is the actual true episode. And like I said, following this interview, and maybe interspersed in between some of the interview, you'll see the works of Keegan, and hit him up on his Instagram and talk to him. And his work is really well worth looking at least, but definitely worth buying. And we've got nothing to do for a little while except for sit around in our homes and look at our walls, and we might as well have some beautiful art on the walls while we're doing it. That being said, Ranger1 out. I love you guys.